Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear 8 students, I hope you're doing well. This is teacher Al-Samad. Welcome back to another lesson. So this lesson, inshallah, we're discussing about your term 3 chemistry exam, your term 3 final chemistry exam. So you look here, the first question was about rocks and weathering and the rock cycle. So you can see here you have a picture or you have a diagram that's showing to you a volcano erupting. So look at the diagram, give the letter which levels magma, which letter levels magma, which letter levels liquid lava. Is that letter A, P, C, or D? Or which letter tells you that is an old solid rock, identifies that old solid rock? Question B, when magma and lava cool, they form a hard crystalline rock. What is the name of this type of rock? Is that igneous rock, metamorphic, or sedimentary rock? The changes listed below take place when a volcano erupts. Which one of these changes could be reversible? So old rocks heated to form a different rock, sulfur bonds to form a sulfur dioxide, water is heated to form water vapor. So ash from a volcano dropped into a lake. All the fish in the lake were killed and buried under the ash in the mud at the bottom of the lake. The photograph below shows the remains of a fish millions of years later. The photograph shows the body parts which supported the fish. Give the name of these body parts. Give the name for animal and plant remains that are found in the rock after millions of years. Question number 2. A Japanese volcano erupted in 1936. Molten sulfur poured out of the volcano. When it cooled, it formed a rock sulfur. So which word describes molten rock that is underground? Choose from lava or magma or oil. So which type of a rock do volcanoes produce? Choose from igneous, metamorphic, or sedimentary. So you need to choose which type of rock do volcanoes produce. Question B, sulfur is non-metallic element. It's yellow and melts at 115 degrees Celsius. Complete the sentence about sulfur. Sulfur is a poor conductor. At 100 degrees Celsius, sulfur changes from where to where? Question C, sulfur burns in air to form an oxide. What gas in the air reacts with sulfur when it burns? What called that gas? So this picture, it shows to you how cliff is on the coastline by a chart changes between the years 1886 and 1919. The chart and the coastline in 1886 was look like that. Then after, year by year or couple years after couple years, it was changed. So the question is, how can you tell from the photograph that the coastline has changed? What made the coastline change? Is that the rain, the sun, the sea, or the wind? On the seashore, pebbles that are rough and even become smooth and rounded. Explain how they become smooth and rounded. The photograph below shows a curved limestone head. The surface of the limestone has changed over many years. Which process made the surface of the limestone change over many years? Is that carving, polishing, weathering, or melting? Name a substance. You need to name a substance in the air which made the surface of the limestone change. Question number 4. Over many years, cliffs might be affected by weathering. Describe one effect of weathering on a cliff. So first, you need to know. What the weathering is. The photograph shows a piece of sandstone. The sandstone in the photograph contains a fossil. So what is a fossil? What group of rocks does sandstone belong to? Granite and basalt are igneous rocks. They contain crystals, but not fossils. How are igneous rocks formed? Explain why igneous rocks do not contain fossils. Granite takes much longer to form than basalt. How will size of the crystals in granite be different from the size of the crystals in basalt? Question number 5. Linda had a piece of red sandstone. She hammered into pieces and then ground them into a powder using pestle and mortar. So she put the powder into a measuring cylinder with water and shook the mixture. the content settle it. So you can see here in the picture. So then after Linda had results to share with, that sandstone is a mixture of two substances. So the question is, how could she tell from the results that sandstone is a mixture of substance? Linda borrowed the cloudy water from the measuring cylinder through filter paper in a filter funnel. She said there might be salts dissolved in the colorless clear liquid that came through the filter. What could Linda do to find out if there were salts dissolved in the colorless clear liquid? What would she see if there had been salts dissolved in the colorless clear liquid? Sandstone is a sedimentary rock. 4 stages in the formation of sedimentary rock are listed below. They are not in the correct order, but they are compacted, deposited, weathered, and transported. So what's the first stage what happens, second stage what happens, the third stage what happens, and the fourth stage what happens. Question number 6. The list below gives some processes which occur in the rock cycle. So you can see the processes. The question is, give the number of one metamorphic process, give a number of one igneous process, give a number of the two steps which could lead to the formation of sandstone. So limestone and sandstone are two different rocks. Limestone is mainly calcium carbonate. It reacts with dilute hydrochloric acid to produce bubbles of gas. Complete the word equation for the reaction. Hydrochloric acid plus calcium carbonate, what comes out is water plus something. What's that thing? You need to fill up that two boxes. Sandstone is mainly silicon dioxide. Glass for test tubes is also made from silicon dioxide. So just what, if anything will happen when dilute hydrochloric acid is added to a piece of sandstone. So the rest of the questions I'll show you by Google Form. You can see here from the Google Form, there was the question starts explaining. So you can see all these questions they were the ones that I was explaining. This is question 6, the one that I was on. So this question, atoms, elements, compounds, and mixtures. So you can see here the drawing blue show that different elements are used for different objects. Draw a line from each element to the reason for using. Example like copper, what reason is used? Gold, helium, and mercury. Question 1A, which of the 4 elements is not a metal? So which of the 4 elements is not a metal? Copper, gold, helium, and mercury. Samantha opened a tin of white paint. The paint consisted of a liquid and particles of titanium dioxide that are insoluble in the liquid. The paint had separated in 2 layers, as shown blue. What type of substance is the paint? Is that a compound, element, and a mixture? What type of substance is titanium dioxide? Is that a compound, an element, like a mixture? Why did the particles of insoluble titanium dioxide sink to the bottom? Question 4C, Samantha stripped the paint and used it to the paint, a window frame. She got some of the paint on the glass. Samantha could not get the paint off the glass with water. When she used a different liquid called white spirit, the paint came off. Why could she remove the paint with the white spirit, but not with water? That's a question. Question number 5. Copper can be obtained from this ore, copper sulfate, in 2 stages. First stage, heating. You need to heat the ore in the air copper sulfide react with oxygen from the air to form copper oxide and sulfur dioxide gas. Second stage, heating the copper oxide with carbon. Copper oxide reacts with carbon to form copper and carbon dioxide. Give the names of 3 elements mentioned above. Give the name of a compound mentioned above which causes acid rain. Question 6A. In the 16th century, a scientist called John Dalton uses symbols to represent atoms. The symbols he uses for atoms of 3 different elements are shown below. Give the letters of the diagrams which shows a mixture of 2 elements. Give the letter of the diagrams which shows a mixture of 2 compounds. Give the letter of the diagrams which shows a mixture of an element and a compound. And give one difference between a compound and a mixture. Basically, you know the model of atoms. So you need to give one difference between a compound and a mixture chart. Suggest a name and a formula for the substance representing diagram B. Suggest a name and a formula for the substance representing diagram D, the formula, basically. So if you need any help, you can text me from Google, from WhatsApp, class future. So I hope you understand everything about this test. So inshallah, if you need help, you can text me. You can contact me, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. See you, inshallah, in the next lesson.